right, so Michael Beasley recently went viral for his comments regarding his career. And essentially, he was asked if he can go back in time, what would he change about his career? And he says, if I could do it all over again, I would have just listened to Pat Riley. Pat told me to get a condo for me and my mom. I got a six-bedroom house, dogs, homie staying in, and that's essentially where the problems came from. Now, for those who don't know, Michael Beasley came into the NBA as the second overall pick in the 2008 NBA draft. And that draft was loaded with talent. You had Derrick Rose, who went number one. I think OJ Mayo went number three. Russ went number four. And Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love was in that draft as well. So that draft definitely had sky high expectations, in particularly with Michael Beasley, who was the second overall pick after Derrick Rose. But his career, obviously, we know that his career didn't live up to what many projected. And I think what I'm about to share with you guys right now, which is the actual clip of him speaking about it, is speaks on what happened. So check it out.
If you had this to do all over again, your career, I mean, and again, you said you were distracted from a lot of things. What would you have eliminated in order to make you?
If I did it all over again, I would have listened to Pat Riley. Pat Riley told me to get a condo, get two bedrooms, one for my mom when she come in town, and everybody else figure it out. I went the polar opposite, and my excuse to him was like, yo, I grew up in an apartment, like I need some space, so I got a 6-bedroom house, got 3 dogs, had 3, 4 of my niggas staying in, and then that's where all the problems came from, like, and it made sense to me because it's like these is real life problems. Like I was bailing people out of jail, I was getting lawyers. Like my uncle was fighting a RICO, my godfather was, they all got 9, 10 years, 30, you know what I'm saying? So to me, like I was really like dealing with problems, but looking back on it, like my daughter's 16 right now. She's getting all kind of NIL. She's NIL. She's about to be. If she's not gonna be one of the players that get drafted, she's gonna be a person that makes a lot of money in her life, her career. I will never look at her and say, "You're 19. You need to take care of me or pay for my lawyer or anything like that." You understand? So, I think I just wish I had the confidence to tell everybody no. Just let me get to my second contract first. Let me, you understand? And my fuck ups would have been my fuck ups.
Yeah.
Most of the fuck ups people know me for was me taking the rap for other people around me and me just being a famous person. You understand? I didn't realize when everybody would tell me that, yo, I'm just doing what they doing. Yeah, but we know who you are. You understand? So if I can do it all over again, I would have just came in. I would have listened to Pat again. Lance Banks, RP, he tried, like, I thought it was intrusive, but Lance Blanks literally came to my house. He moved me out my house and moved me into a condo right across the street from Phoenix. But then he moved somebody in there to, like, keep an eye on me. That's the same thing Pat did. Pat got me a condo, and he kept somebody outside the front door to make sure he was clocking me. And that part made me feel like I was in a cage. You understand? So, like, but at the same time, I just wish I would have listened to them because they just wanted me to lock in and just hoop. Just lock in and hoop, And by the time I got to Phoenix, I had a family, so that was my excuse. I got to get home to the babies. And it's like, Gilbert Arena made this point. We think we're fathers. We think we're dads. No, we're not. We go practice. We go out of town for a week. We come home at 11 o'clock. We wake these babies up and take them to get ice cream, have them late for school the next day, and just soothe our mind. Like, bro, they living a whole life without us while we on the road. You understand? So it's like I could have did everything they wanted me to do and sacrificed that time for the greater good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you guys heard what Michael Beasley had to say, and he's what I hear from this clip is him taking a lot of accountability, because again, you only have one chance in this lifetime to make the right decision, obviously, but one thing is for sure that Michael Beasley is, people know Michael Beasley as being one of the most talented offensive players and one of the most one of those what if stories, sort of, kind of, right? Because again, there were several factors that played into his career. Now obviously, like I said, he was offensively skilled, You know, he could score inside and outside. He could do it all. Shoot the mid range, shoot the three, get to the bucket. He could finish at the rim. But Beasley did struggle defensively, and he wasn't really that strong of a defender in terms of, you know, awareness, effort, or even versatility. Now, seeing being his size, there was definitely potential, but you know, in a league that was very focused towards two-way players and versatile wings, I mean, so some of Beasley's defensive shortcomings, you know, limited some of his minutes and roles. Now, again, he did enter the league in '08, right? But shortly after that, LeBron James joined the Heat, Chris Bosh joined the Heat, and this ultimately pushed Beasley into a lesser role instead of being, you know, a franchise cornerstone because, you know, he was the number 2 pick. So from there across multiple teams, you know, he was with the Timberwolves, he was with the Suns for a little bit. You know, he bounced between starter, sort of kind of starter role to the bench role, and you know that sort of kind of hurt his rhythm and development. And not to mention that Beasley also had, you know, mental issues and emotional struggles that he himself has openly admitted to battling, you know, mental health struggles. And it takes somebody extremely strong to actually come out and speak about that. But you know, I think it's very important. This example is going to be very important for, you know, rookies who come into the league to learn from, you know, other people's mistakes, because you know nobody in this life is perfect. But at the end of the day, I think Beasley, you know, seeing Beasley, I think he won the big three. They won the big three championship. He was a big three MVP. You know, he seems to be in a very good place as far as, you know, playing the game he loves. And you know, I think it was pretty cool that Beasley actually opened up and spoke on, you know, some of his regrets, you know, that he wish he can go back and change. But again, like I said, this could be you know, a learning sort of kind of experience for people who younger players who are coming into the league, you know, to learn. So let me know what you guys think about this topic, man. And of course, man, appreciate the support, and I'm out.